Good morning, COVIDian Brits. Day 64. Went out on my medication run yesterday. Got back safely, masked up. Did a shopping run as well with my wife. Oh boy, the roads are still full of idiots. Absolute idiots. It's kind of symbolic, isn't it? Yeah. That if you turn out onto a road that's got a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit, you make a safe left turn onto that road. But just because we're in lockdown, there's some moron in a Volvo who comes flying over the brow of a hill that you've already checked is safe to turn out onto. Yeah, but during lockdown, there's got to be some moron who thinks that a 30-mile-an-hour road with parked cars on both sides, just about to pass a zebra crossing up near where there are some shops, there's got to be some moron in their Volvo who thinks that really you should be doing 45. So they'll crawl right up your arse end, put their brakes on at the last second and start glaring at you. Is that not an image for the kind of world that we've become? Isn't it an image for the kind of world that we've become? Is it not a kind of get out of the way, pushy image? Is it not a kind of image that said, I don't really care about keeping anybody else safe. I don't really care because I think the road is nearly empty, and if perchance there happened to be a kid, because near to this particular road there is a school that is still open, actually for the children of essential workers. But I don't really care because I'm in a hurry. Wherever I'm going, I'm in a hurry in my big silver Volvo. And I don't think that far ahead. And even if I did, do you know what? I really wouldn't care. That's the world we've become. Why do you think it's so easy for the government to get away with effectively such a high death toll, such a high death rate in care homes, which of course is never properly reported in the overall figure, which we now know is probably likely to be over 70,000 dead people. Many in the care homes still dying. Peaks in the virus, yep. Peaks in death rates. But government knows what it's doing, and it's less than 14 days, folks, until schools reopen. Just let me let you in on something else that's being abandoned, because it's all about abandoning, isn't it? Do you remember Grenfell? Remember when we tried to have an inquiry after that, and everybody was found not guilty? Yeah, of course they weren't guilty. The government can't be guilty of anything, can it? I mean, loads of people die. They fake the figures. Well, look, after Grenfell, see all that cladding that was exposed that spread the fire up that building? Well, guess what? Well, according to the Independent, the government has backed away from a pledge to remove Grenfell-style cladding from high-rise buildings by June. Why did they back away? They've had the construction industry open, haven't they? I believe. Yeah, I think that's been open. But why have they backed away? Oh, coronavirus. Yeah, we had to spend all of our time on that, so it's fair enough. They backed away. Yep. Do they actually care? Seriously, do they care? Yeah? Do the government care? Well, if it was a block, say, in Knightsbridge, if it was a block in Chelsea, they might care. But most of these blocks aren't in the smart areas of Knightsbridge and Chelsea. So why would they care? Honestly, if a few more people, if a few hundred or a few thousand people burn to death, they don't care any more than they care about the old people they sent back to care homes to die an asphyxiating death, not even offered basic palliation, not even given oxygen, and they'll be saying, well, we threw a protective ring around them. One thing is for certain, and Chucky Mark points it out again today, yeah, there's a big protective ring thrown around Boris Johnson, isn't there? Perhaps they're protecting him inside a fridge somewhere. There you go. 5% of teachers in state schools, no, in state schools, agree that it would be safe to reopen them. Yep, 5%. A tiny percentage of parents agree as well. Yep, but you got less than 14 days. I think you got about 10 days. And teacher bashing, obviously. Yeah, the Daily Faily is more into teacher bashing. Again, my favourite one, you see a lot of these, but I still think it's important. When it's safe enough for this, then it's safe enough for this. I think the image speaks for itself, don't you? Yeah. When it's safe enough for this, then it's safe enough for this. I quite agree. Yeah. But, you know, there's always two standards here, aren't there? Yeah, everything is two standards, most definitely. 81.3% of parents, according to Childcare UK, will not send their children back to school if it reopens in June. That's according to Childcare UK, 81.3% of parents. So, which side do you stand on? Are you part of the 81.3%? Or do you trust your government? Do you trust your government who actually did not throw a protective barrier around around old people's homes? They just didn't. Yeah, but they're saying they did. Yep. Now, here's another one from Peter Stefanovic. Yep. And it's a bloody good point. The government has repeatedly said that testing is key to relaxing the lockdown and reopening our schools. After missing its target to test 100,000 people a day by the end of April and every day since, it now says that the number of people being tested, the number of people are being tested because it now says data on a number of people being tested is unavailable. Sorry, I want to say that right. It now says that data on the number of people being tested is unavailable. Oh, unavailable. Yeah. Isn't it funny how data can be unavailable? Yeah, it can be unavailable. At any point, if you want something, it might be unavailable. Like the files on the paedophiles might have been lost. Something becomes unavailable, files on paedophiles are lost, and when you ask for an answer from the government, information is unavailable. The system is still updating. Yeah, bit like, you know, asking why you're not getting universal credit, right? Oh yeah, and by the way, that reminded me of universities. Our major universities are deciding they're not going back till 2021, summer 2021. Yep, Oxford and Cambridge and all that lot. But yeah, get your kids back to school. It's really important. Best days of their lives, their education. Yeah. Yeah, 3 fantastic bits on the slogan here. Talk bullshit, pretend you care, blame others. Blame the scientists now. There you go. Talk bullshit, pretend you care, blame. Talk bullshit, pretend you care, blame others. Well, I totally think that's what he does, doesn't it? And where is he, by the way? Yeah? Have you checked your fridge this morning? Jeremy, Left Wing Society, says, we stand in solidarity with Liverpool Mayor Joe Anderson, so do I, refusing to reopen schools on June the 1st. If only the rest of the country was like Liverpool and its people. Bless you, Scousers. If only the rest of the country was, eh? But, of course, could be a sheep. Yep, sheep. Ba, ba, ba. Go on then, sheep, letting your kids go back to school, are we? Yeah. Sheep. Ba, ba. A nice one here I like. Lucy returned from school and asked Mummy, "What does being thrown under the bus mean?" "Well, Lucy," replied Mummy, "because you are state school educated and really not going to amount to anything in the eyes of the Tories, you are to be sacrificed so that the rich can make money out of Mummy and Daddy, who are equally as worthless, but are needed now to line their pockets, because once you know your place, it's simple. Just switch off, consume, and do as you're fucking told without questioning the narrative." I quite agree, don't you? There you go, Lucy. Do as you're told, obey orders, don't question the narrative, go out there and consume. Consume your way out of misery. Consume your way out of poverty. Consume your way out of having a responsibility to others. Consume, consume, consume. Make the fat billionaire controllers even richer. Sacrifice your kids to them. Sacrifice your life to them. Sacrifice your old people to them. Sacrifice people who they consider worthless. Okay? Just to end on one final one, as if you hadn't twigged it, but I think most people will have twigged it, yeah? Who's paying for COVID? Yeah? Who's going to pay for COVID? Branson, maybe? Tim, nice but dim? The owners of Amazon? They're going to pay for it, are they? Tax-dodging billionaires going to pay for it? Yeah? The people who are now always going to be able to isolate because they've got the money to isolate forever if necessary, keep away from the common herd, are they going to pay for it? Is there going to be a windfall tax on them? Is the Queen going to pay for it? No. No. The sickest, the weakest, the most disabled, the most vulnerable, people with the least, i.e. people like myself and my wife, either we're going to pay for it with our lives, yeah, or we're going to pay for it with money that we were legitimately entitled to. That's going to be taken away now because the weakest must pay. Go back to where I started. The bastard driving at a speed on a road that was dangerous just because, well, because they could. Because all their sense of entitlement told them they could. Britain demands better than this. But hey, it's what you voted for. You voted Tory. So I suggest, as soon as lockdown's done, off the fields, pick fruit. Okay? Pick fruit. Go on then, Tories. Go away. Pick fruit. Lockdown will be finished soon. Pick fruit. Bye.